Hello and welcome to another edition of Wake Up and Live with the Arts. I'm Sue Johnson, your host tonight. And now let's meet our first guest of the evening, Peter Lawson Jones. Hello there, colleague, because he's now an actor, a playwright, so he is a man of the arts. How are you doing today?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well,
always
thank
good
you,
to
sir.
see you.
Yes, and tell us what you have been up to lately with your acting and your playwriting profession.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. I acted in college and even in law school, and then there was about a 28-year hiatus. And then suddenly I found myself at the Cleveland Playhouse in Bourbon at the Border, and then last year at A House with No Walls, and most recently in a wonderful production that we did 4 weeks at Caramoo and 3 weeks at Weather Vane Playhouse in Akron, The Great White Hope, which of course is a classic piece. And I had the great pleasure and distinction of playing one of the lead roles in that. The role of Tick the trainer for the character who was in real life, he was Jack Johnson, the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. So what a wonderful experience that is. Got a chance to be in a movie recently.
Yes, okay, tell us about that.
Well, Corbin Burnson, who was of course a star on LA
Law, yes, in the 80s.
And in the major league, the various major league movies about Cleveland Indians baseball franchise, is doing a movie that he's filming in Akron on the Soapbox Derby called 25 Hill. And I went out there to a mass audition of about 2,000 people. I had an opportunity to meet him, and he thought I would be ideal to play the role of the husband of the woman who's been cast as the principal of a school in that particular movie. So I was...
So you're moving on up.
Yeah, so I'm doing some interesting things. But I'm working on a second play, which I'm about a quarter way through.
Can you tell us a little bit about it without giving the whole thing away at this point?
Well, it's a political drama. Although,
really?
How surprising, how shocking.
Quelle surprise.
Although it's not at all autobiographical, but I think it's a fascinating story about a politician who we meet the night that he wins his first election as a state senator. We meet his wife, we meet some of his supporters, and at the very end of the scene, we meet an old friend of his, a high school buddy who had played football with him, who unfortunately had spent the last 10 years of his life in jail because he had a drug habit and then was convicted of a sexual assault. The second scene is a couple of years later. The protagonist is being courted to run for Congress, and it looks like he's got an excellent chance of winning, when his friend is arrested for suspicion of a similar crime. And so the protagonist has to make a decision. Is he going to, because he comes to the conclusion that his friend did not commit this crime. So is he going to jettison his friend and jeopardize his chances of winning the seat to the halls of Congress? Or is he going to stick by his friend and put at risk his the opportunity that he has, the great opportunity he has to be elected to Congress? It's about the decision he makes. It's about the decision he makes and the consequences. The name of it, The Bloodless Jungle.
Okay, well, we're going to claim first rights to doing a stage reading of it. Now, a slightly different aspect of your persona, and you work with a program that often helps folks who've had past histories, folks who are in the process of transforming their lives, primarily men, and you do this in a number of ways through your Fatherhood Initiative program that you developed, you founded for the county a few years back. And
6 years ago.
Oh, really? It's
Over 6
really
years ago.
It's monumental now. I mean, it's a huge
I hope so.
program.
I like to think that it's the best county-sponsored fatherhood program in the nation.
Okay.
And I doubt very seriously there are any that can compete with the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative in terms of what it's been able to achieve over 6 short years.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been actually involved in fatherhood programming
for a long
well
time.
over a decade.
Yes.
When I was a member of the Ohio House of Representatives, the legislation I offered established the Ohio Commission on Fatherhood, which I chaired during its initial days and still chair at present. That program has blossomed and burgeoned and is helping fathers throughout the state of Ohio become better dads, engage with their families, secure the skills that they need, and economic opportunities, job training, and jobs.
Which we play Lester and I play a small part. Lester, our videographer, we play a small part in that by delivering
Sure,
some
you've been
programs
helping out
to
with the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative with, I believe, both Passages
and Rising Above.
Rising Above.
Yes.
And the Passages program is one of the programs that helps fathers who've been incarcerated successfully transition back to the community, sustain good and healthy relationships with their families. Because what's been found is that those individuals who are in prison are able to both sustain and to nurture their relationships with their children and their families while they're incarcerated are going to have more successful re-entries than those who aren't able to do that.
And reduce recidivism, I hope, at some
Absolutely.
point. That's
and
part of the goal.
that's the purpose.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate objective. But we work with both the Ohio Commission on Fatherhood and the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative work with all kinds of fathers. Rich dads, poor dads, black dads, white
Purple dads, it doesn't
brown
matter.
dads, red dads.
And you also, part of your program addresses young dad parents,
Old
and that's
dads,
critical.
middle-aged dads like me, and young dads.
Yeah.
Well, and also future dads.
Okay.
One of the things that we try to do through the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative is ensure that nobody becomes a father before his time.
Oh,
So we
wonderful.
try to
Yeah.
address the problem of what I call, termed premature fatherhood.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that is also an important objective of the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative and also the Ohio Commission on Fatherhood.
And that program has a lot of things going for it. And in the last closing minutes that we have for this segment, by the time this airs, you will have just finished a major conference with your Fatherhood Initiative program. So tell us a little bit about the conference, which was, by the time this airs, was just held. And what do you have coming up in September, October, November?
Well,
things
a
our
couple of
audience
things.
should
First,
look for.
as regards our celebration of fatherhood, which we've done now for 6 consecutive years, there is no gathering like it, no conference like it in the entire state of Ohio. As a matter of fact, the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative is the only county-sponsored program for fathers in the 88 counties in the state of Ohio. And I always like to think, although father is in the title, what we're endeavoring to do is to serve families and children, because by having an engaged father in a child's life, you ensure that that child has a better chance of success and a better chance of avoiding all of those social pathologies that we are so concerned about.
We need to have you tell our viewers your contact information if they want to learn more about the Fatherhood Initiative program as a participant, get involved as a volunteer.
What a wonderful segue you've given me. There's 2 things that you can do. The first is if you are a father who needs a certain kind of assistance, maybe you need help finding a job, maybe you need employment training, maybe you just want to be, you're having difficulty negotiating the child support, visitation and custody system, well, you can call an easy number, 211.
Oh, the
211,
information
first
line.
call for help.
Yes.
And you will be referred to the appropriate program or agency that can assist you with the issue that you have. Or also, you could contact Al Grimes,
Yes.
who's the coordinator of the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative. Has been the coordinator since the inception of the program, does a remarkable job. And Al can be reached at 216-256-1227, 216-256-1227, or you can call my office directly at 216-443-7182, 216-443-7182, or if you're technologically savvy, you just go on our website, cuyahogacounty.us, and log on to the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative for all the information you might need so that you can become a better dad, and as a consequence, have children that have a real opportunity, a better and enhanced opportunity to fulfill their God-given human potential.
And there's nothing more I can say any better than that. And we are so thrilled to have had Peter be our guest and give us such an uplifting, inspiring message about being, well, first of all, being a great actor and playwright, but above all, providing a community service that will help change the futures of our male population into being great, productive, loving dads.
And therefore the future of the children
Yes.
that they have sired, but they need to parent.
Okay. Thanks again, Peter. And
Thank you,
listen, you're more than welcome. See you real soon. And you stay tuned. We're going to be right back with our next guest. James Polk.